What is up, everybody, and welcome to the .223 Revolver Redux. So this is a brand new mod by Skibida. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I never know if I'm pronouncing stuff right. Regardless, he has kind of been redoing a bunch of his mods, and one of the mods he did decide to release for the first time is going to be the .223 Revolver, one of the weapons from Fallout 2, as well as Blade Runner, although this is based off the one from Fallout 2. Regardless, as you can see, what we have is a very high quality weapon mod. Again, this is going to be using a paint job. There are bunch of different options for this weapon. I'm just, deciding to use one of the paint jobs available for it. And yeah, again, it just looks really high quality, especially when you get all up and close with it. You could just tell that it is, just really high quality again. So holding it in first person, it just looks so good. I don't know, maybe it's just me that finds this to be super high quality, but I really like to look at it. We'll take a listen to the sounds and look at the animations now. So as you can see, everything is pretty much on point with the gun. We'll take a look at it in third person. And as you can see, the animations are reusing one of the ones from Vanilla Fallout, it does seem, for the regular revolvers. So everything is pretty much on point. And honestly, where I think this weapon shines is, one, it looks amazing. It has cool sounds, cool custom sounds at that. But I actually really like the customization options. I feel like a lot of pistols overlook that. This one's definitely not one of those. So here's just a little thing I did want to show you. As you can see, we do have 3 of the different variants here. We have the one I was using earlier, a gunner variant, and of course this one. So this is actually the default way you will get this weapon, and it's going to be in this rusted, kind of very ugly looking texture, and that's intentional. So actually, when you do have this rusted texture on the gun, and again, this is a material mod, but basically it's going to be doing less damage, have less accuracy, and all around the gun's just going to be performing much worse. Otherwise, everything else is the same, but just kind of, I really like that addition. And again, if you find the gun in the wild, you'll most likely find it with this rusted texture. It has like a very high probability to spawn like this. Then of course we do have this one, which has like a receiver and everything, but this not using the rusted texture does have some much better stats. But actually we do have a third version here, so if we just compare these two, as you can see, I can just spam fire. That's actually using the light receiver. So right here we actually have the heavy receiver, and look at how this works. So I'm clicking as fast as I can right here. This is as fast as you could fire this version. Basically, the heavy receiver is going to be much, or do much more damage, but the rate of fire obviously is going to be much slower as it is single action, while this one is, you could kind of spam fire, double action, revolver here. So I actually really like that kind of functionality and feature. Obviously a huge trade-off. This one, if you think, you're not as accurate of a player, well, if you land one of those shots, you might do as much damage as 2 of these shots. Although this one, you can obviously spam fire, which is, pretty cool. I just wanted to show you guys that, especially the rusted version. I just think that's a really cool implementation of this gun. But now let's actually go check out some of the modifications. So now actually in the weapons workbench, we do have some of the different things. So as you can see here, we do have some of the different receivers. As I was talking about before, we have the heavy and the light. So of course, that's going to be the single action versus the double action. And actually, one thing I do really like, he does this with a lot of his weapon mods. Basically, he explicitly tells you the changes per each thing. So as you can see, the advanced heavy, advanced light, and you can see this one's doing 173 damage per shot. Well, this one's only 130, but on top of that, it also weighs a bit more. The speed is 30% slower, but 100% damage increase from the previous version. And I just think that's pretty interesting. I just really like the way that's explicitly listed, and I wish more mod authors did that. So then again, we do have a few different barrels. You have a short barrel, a long barrel, a ported barrel, and then finally the bull barrel, which I think this one looks the coolest. Obviously having that kind of, I don't know, just a badass feel all around. And also I am using the rusty texture, so mind you, the damage will actually go up if I take that off. But then we also do have a few different grips. Nothing too crazy here, but definitely some cool ones. I especially like the guard grip, although I believe I was using the spike grip before. I just think it looks pretty cool. And again, nothing too crazy in there, but then we do have some of the different sights, and I think this is actually another real strong point for this weapon. Of course, we do have some different iron sights, so you have pin sights, ring sights, which I was just using, some glow ring sights, a little reflex scope, but then you also do have the see-through sights framework compatibility, which I think this is implemented really well. So if we actually take a look at this right now, you'll see I think it looks very good, and as you can see right there, like, I love see-through sights, and a lot of mods do implement it, but not all mods implement it well. This is the kind of sight I want to be using. I just think it fits very well for the gun. I think it's a practical way to use it, and all around, I just like the minimalistic and kind of just the way it's implemented again. So that is not all still though. We do have a few different muzzles, and the muzzles for this gun are actually one of my favorite part. All of them are very unique and very interesting. So as you can see, we have a compensator, a muzzle brake, and then an advanced compensator, advanced muzzle brake, doing kind of the same thing as you would in vanilla, except the advanced version's obviously doing it even better. But we also do have a suppressor, and all around, again, I just think all these, they feel very exaggerated. Like, it doesn't feel kind of like a minimal thing. Normally it's just like a small part of the gun, but this one, you definitely notice it when you're using some of these different options, and it makes the gun look very different. As you can see, you can tell here, I'm using the advanced compensator, I believe, and then this one, obviously the suppressor, and this one without anything. Is very obvious what you're using as far as muzzles go. So then last but not least, we do again have these different textures. So we have the clean one there, which is going to be, you know, nothing, and then we do have a flames one and the gunner one, which I did show you. I think the gunner one is my favorite. I do really look at the look of it. I think the clean one does look pretty cool as well though. And then last but not least, and I just love the implementation, especially on a revolver. You do have 4 different types of rounds. So you have full metal jacket rounds, which is going to do less damage but actually have more armor penetration. Then you do have AP rounds, so it's going to be armor piercing rounds. It's going to be even less damage at minus 15% damage, but as a trade-off, you're going to get even more armor penetration. So I actually really like this. He does do this again with a lot of his mods. I think it's a cool implementation because this is a serious trade-off. You are doing less damage. So if you're not attacking somebody like someone in power armor or with some different armor on them, you're not going to be getting any benefit from this. But if you are fighting, let's say the Brotherhood of Steel with a lot of armor, this round is definitely going to be doing more damage than the JHP rounds, which actually don't have anything. It's just flat out damage. Then of course we have the JSP rounds, which is jacketed soft point, and this is no stat bonus or penalties, but obviously you don't need a gun nut perk. This is kind of just your normal round. So I actually really like these. I typically go with JHP rounds unless I know I'm going to be taking down some armored enemies, but all around pretty cool nonetheless. I do like that implementation. So that's pretty much everything about this gun. Again, like, there's a lot of customizability. I really like the way all that stuff's implemented. It really makes you kind of develop this gun as your own. I feel like you could use this as a medium range pistol, revolver with one of the heavy receivers if you so desired. So let me customize a few of these and then we'll go try it out against some enemies. So I did place down some some fog crawlers and some legendary raiders. So we're gonna take them on right now, and I do have a few different guns. Can I hit this guy? Seriously, he's just jumping in between the trees. So this actually does a crazy amount of damage if you could actually... Oh gosh! I was not prepared for that. So as you can see, we have some rad scorpions and stuff going on here. But let's use easy mode VATS here and go for a headshot. But yes, so this one's kind of like a heavier barrel one. But, or no, I'm sorry, this is a light barrel one, but meant to be used at a range. So this one is actually kind of just the default textures, and as you can see, if you spray people with this thing, you can actually pack some serious punch. So if you actually could get some shots on target and, you know, I don't know, downrange, I guess, you do a lot of damage with this gun. Even the lighter one, you could just spam fire, especially if you get close to people, you can do some serious damage. So we'll shoot this second one a couple times. And I'm going to actually switch to the one with the, I think this is the one with the 2x scope. No, it's a 4x scope. So this one with the 4x scope, this is of course using the heavy barrel, which is going to be doing a lot of damage per shot. We killed that guy. I think I missed that shot. And it's hard to like take the time to line up your shots because there's so many enemies shooting at me. But they are coming over this hill now, and all around, this is a very satisfying gun to use, I find, as I'm using it. Like, I'm really enjoying my time with it, and it actually takes 3 shots to kill legendary raiders, assuming 2 of them are headshots. So the 3rd shot actually does not kill them. You can mutate them in 1 shot, but you cannot actually finish them off. So it's actually just spam fire this person, and I think I'll just kill her with 1 in power or legendary shot there. But if you actually run up to enemies like so, you can do quite a bit of damage, and I will finish her off right there. But it's just a... Oh. A grenade hit me, and I do have true frags installed.